with myself, Osila Shani, on the driver's seat, holding it down for my man GJK while he's not around. Shout out to you, Miss GKs, for holding it down. Yeah. Look out for the sheriff, of course, on the sports court, 6 to 7. Mshero, I've always wondered, man. Sheriff Gina Bolo kana.
No. Hey, it's a long story.
No,
Negri at high school, not to be the first day. So, class in the Rosena reporter who would you and then I had to. But then I didn't know security kind of policeman. But he looked at me and he said, "So you are the sheriff?" And then I was the sheriff. I am the sheriff.
The sheriff is in town as well, holding it down more sports court. Afcon is on as we speak. Then, of course, look out for the evening cruise mechanic, where we're going to be talking about safety during the festive season. And then, of course, we give you stories that made the headlines on the recap later on. But for now,
yeah, man, where do we start? Let's start here.
Other stations brag about having the most music. All we have is all the hits.
RB2.
Molodi o a boraso se le sengwe fela go rogile mosimane wa Malete morapatala tsa mere mora motlhano o tlhokile motseo jele ke magakabela manong mora godimo le sele ya re go boa ga bala le khodumo. Welcoming you to the Monday edition of the Sports Court right here on your station of choice. It's gonna be a brace today, because we've got the Sports Court, and of course we're gonna be giving you our Afcon match analysis for the game between Bafana South Africa and Angola. Yes, we did kickstart it yesterday with the host Morocco playing against Comoros and winning that game. Zambia Chipolopolo just played to a 1-1 draw with Mali today, and be sure to always be on the lookout right here on your station of choice to get stories and score lines as far as the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations is concerned. And of course, the big one tomorrow, the Zebras are going to be facing the Teranga Lions, Senegal of Sadio Mane and the rest. Yes, tomorrow, and definitely we are hoping for the best one. And of course, we will try to take you a little bit back in terms of the journey, what it has been, or what it means to travel the route of qualification for the Africa Cup of Nations. What does it take, really? And definitely we'll be chatting to Coach Alex Basimanebotle, who's going to be taking us because he has traveled the journey, of course, with the Maize and traveling to Morocco, where they played gallantly well, and he's going to be taking us off certainly what it means throughout the qualification period and the competition itself, being there, you are at the biggest stage of the tournament as far as football is concerned in the African continent. The who is who of football in Africa, Mohamed Salah, you can think of, they are there. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the former captain of Arsenal, he is there. Yes, definitely. And of course, our own the Zebras are definitely with Coach Morena Ramorebudi, Coach Will Share, and Coach Ponzo Piromoloi with the boys out in Morocco. Coach Alex, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening. Ke tse sebaka se ke go dumedise le baretsi ko gae le barati ba metshameko.
Congratulations. I recently heard that you found you got a job.
Thank you. I think a journey of football is a journey where it rarely happens where you stay in one team for life. So it's a journey with a lot of teams, but you can only cherish the moments you had le ba neng o na le bone, because the relationships they are hola beyond football, and it's what I have with Hawks.
If you had to sum up your time with Hawks in one word, just one word, what would it be?
I would say growth.
Beautiful. And we are hoping for more growth.
Yeah.
With the new move. Well, we are talking the Zebras journey, to the 2025 Afcon, and it wasn't an easy one. You were probably closer to the team, I believe, than me. I believe you have worked with Coach Marena Namarebudi. You have been closer to him. You know probably his thinking as far as the game is concerned. What does it take for the team to go through qualification process? What are the demands from a team, and how far does it stretch you preparing for that? There is traveling, I believe, from country to country, different cultures. Take us through that.
Firstly, I have to say it's not an easy task. It takes a lot of sacrifice. You have to sacrifice yourself. And I have to say, tiro e ntsi e simologa before camp e tsena. In a case where we know, or re tsene mo campeng ya bohelo re itse ra go tshameka le Senegal le DR Congo and Benin. Before batshameki ba reporta go tsana mo camping, o tshwanetse re le technical team e be le kgonne go hetsa ka dipatlisiso tsa lona tsa gore mo metshamekong e hitileng le stoppa le tshamekilang, le go lebella gore a mme go kgakala thata la ka ile re lona gongwe go tsamaelana le game model a lona kgotsa gongwe ka ile re le batla go tshameka ka teng. Se se botlhokwa be nna gore o tshwanwa ke go itse gore dithopo tse o yang go tshameka le tsone di tshamekang ba kgonang sente ba sokola ha kae, because great teams go na le ha ile gore di a sokola teng, and those are things tse ile gore di opponent ba kgona go di dirisa go bona di result ha ba tshameka le tsone. Mme ga o heditse ka tseo go itse gore ba tshamekana, now you plan for the games, of which in Nakanya training or har similar trainer, it has to be specific to the game plan. If you are doing something good training, how is it related to the game? How is it, what proportion of the game plan is it going to take? So I prioritize and then you also slot in friendly games. Maybe maybe that's similar to the countries that you are going to play against. If you cannot get those, you have to make try to create the scenarios more training. If, for example, you are going to play against, let's say, maybe Mozambique, most of the Portuguese countries, they prefer to play on a 4-4-2 win play, and then you try to mimic that more training with the other team, and then you drill the other team. At the same time, coaching diplara tsa gago to try to be the opponent, so that haratsana ko matching we have done different situations. If there's a breach, let's say it's a defensive setup, how are you going to come in with the other option? If you are not able to go out option number one, what is the alternative to that? What is the other option? What is the alternative to that? So there's a lot of work that is done in the background before the match. And I have to say, you also need a bigger technical team. A lot of experts within the technical team, but conditioning. You need someone, because when it comes to resources, you are not able to have sports nutritionist. You need also a more technical team to have either the coach or the conditioning coach to have an idea when it comes to nutrition, so that ba khona go monitor
Gore go jewa
yeah,
eng.
gore go jewa eng, ba ja eng leng.
yeah.
And then you can even go deeper to say, here we have a goalkeeper. A goalkeeper cannot eat like an infield player because the requirements are harologana. And they will need a lot of power, and that from then maybe oka battle the protein tse dintsi compared to the carbohydrates, because in terms of distance covered mo leveling ga ta bo le phaka le letelle, so you'll need something that is go itsa go gain a weight mo ile go heteletse. So it's a lot, and it needs
o
experts.
kgatla ka gore wa itse gore e tere ga ke bua ka coaching mo Botswana, coach Alex,
Yeah.
ke be ke utlwa botlhoko ka ha this profession is a tsewintsi ya ka teng. And then I sit on the table le motho a tshwana le wena, a coach, and get to understand gore even when coaches go through that training, they cover a lot of topics that would go into physics, into biology. So as a coach, you have to be knowledgeable on certain things tse leng gore motho mongwe ko ntle kwa o ka tswa sa akanye gore dilo tse they are related to coaching. For instance, just being able to understand the muscles of players and how they differ. Gore wona muscle ke o ntseng jang, ebile o ka dira eng under what pressure. Ke physics ke dilo tse leng gore and of course you coaches go through these. And you have to understand this.
Yeah, it's science. There's a lot. Like before you got out and mo camp, you also plan like ka letsatsi la bo kana ra traveler. So
Yes.
how travel what is it that we are going to do a day after? How are we going to have in games within Naguelo Taborelo mo camp is periodization. It's a lot of things. You also need to slot in different modalities tsa recovery.
Yeah.
Because I know most people, when we think recovery, we nako nngwe khona go nna ice bath hela kgotsa a day off, but the best practices ha gona tsela engwe ha le re good ya recovery is a combination, because batshameki ba harologana. Ba bangwe preference ya bone ga se ice bath, which is okay. Best practices, players are not forced to, because they understand and they also know their bodies. Gona le ba itse gore na ke berekelwa sente ga ke dirile molemo. But rona most of the times I know we enforce a lot of ice bath, of which shouldn't be enforced, should be according to preference ya di player, but at the same time we have responsibility to teach. So that they also understand gore as much as gongwe e le bothoko is also e le gore gongwe ka ba thusa ka nako a teng, lebile the little that we have, because it also include bo nutrition and then bo go robala, how well do we monitor our sleeping patterns.
And of course our first game is against Senegal, a top club with quality players. Of course, we can talk about how good they are. They've won the Afcon, and their players individually, their clubs overseas, they've won many accolades. There's been a lot of talk about how can we stop Senegal. I guess how can Senegal stop Botswana? Or maybe we have already submitted or no. Such a game, coach, how as a coach, how do you motivate them?
I think the first thing, talk ke shared common objectives or goals within the team, to share a dream. And then the second thing is how much you believe in the dream. And what is it that we are willing to do. And then the reason why we are playing the sport, why are you there, what it means to represent your nation. And then it goes back to planning and then application of the shared vision in terms of how we for that specific game. Because if we are not in sync, kgotsa rotlhe re sa tlhaloganye ka go tshwana gore tshwana ko re tshameke yang ebile re sa dumele thata mo ile re gongwe ka re tshamekang ka teng ke gone mo ile re gongwe go ka risa go gongwe we will not be able to achieve. But the most important thing it's a test of character.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a test of character. Le tumelo ya gore do we believe we deserve to be there? And how re sana tumelo, re sana the shared common goal we are working towards, it's going to be difficult to get the result. But if if we are playing for something that is bigger than ourselves, if we know we carry the hopes of the nation, and we strongly believe in our shared common goal, it's very much possible to get a result and do well.
I believe you are a Christian, coach.
Yeah.
Do you believe it is impossible?
No, it's not impossible. There have been, to prove it's not impossible, how many upsets have there been in football?
Saudi Arabia
Yeah,
versus
Saudi Arabia,
Argentina.
you know. Those are the things they lore detained dia supagala gore even lahaneng gongwe odds are against you, you can still go and win games. So the result is that they didn't deal with the tournament thing. Yeah, in every tournament there's an upset.
And Haribui jana because re Batswana.
Yeah.
And Haribui jana because re patele diwa ke mongwe gore re akanye jalo. We do have the quality as far as players.
And we have done it before. We played Guinea, we won 1-0. We played Cape Verde, back-to-back wins.
Tunisia at some
Tunisia, you know,
Yeah.
when we qualified for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Harib, the team is there,
Yeah.
the quality is there, the experience is there to be able to understand phases of play, the demands of a game, and moments in a game, and the belief certainly is there. I see the boys in the training, and you see they are happy, and I'm happy that they are there.
Yeah.
As a Motswana, I'm very happy that they are there. And sometimes you need a Goliath to prove to yourself that you are good.
Yeah.
And I believe, Lerona, if we believe, kana go ra kra re tle re itheditsana re le Batswana ke te kere kana go ya COVID ne go tlamelemo e tswa ka gane mo sanko maela go tsa gore a re coach Alex ke tshotse molemo ke o o ka go alafa COVID Batswana ba ba kotse ya go nna bone ba ntla go bolela setšhaba le lefatse gore motho wa lwala
Yeah.
I don't know ga ke tsora ke so se re tshotsweng ka sone re le Batswana nte re tswe melemo go ka moso wena ga o ka re o dirile a cell phone Batswana ba go bua ka boeleng gore hey muizeng golobatse are we really, because there's something in us which makes us believe little in our thoughts, in what we can do. Ga Motswana ka ro dirile cell phone rona tle Batswana ke rona ra ngo dumela re motho wa lwala
Because the mindset, it's almost everything at that level. You know, everyone is who is there is talented, but the difference is how you think, because how you see things, how you feel about yourself, it affects the quality of your actions. If you don't believe you can make it, every action that you are going to do or try to execute, you are going to be second best. If you believe someone can do it better than you, they will certainly do it. You will certainly lose duels in the game because you don't believe you are strong enough. You will certainly misplace passes because you believe someone you are up against, maybe in midfield, he's better than you have seen him play at maybe a higher level. But on the day, as much as we in terms of where players play, it's all about how much you believe and how much you want it.
All right. Definitely, it's going to be a big game. Be sure to catch the match analysis of that game. Botswana against Senegal tomorrow, right here on your station of choice, and proudly brought to you by Gambling Authority and RB2, your station of choice. We'll give you the match analysis as we started yesterday with Morocco versus Comoros, and we'll certainly be giving you the analysis with top-class commentary right here on your station of choice. Are in the group itself, coach?
Yeah.
I saw when you played with the senior ladies team in Morocco. We played, I think, was our first game.
Algeria,
Nigeria,
Tunisia,
and then Nigeria, and then Tunisia. As a coach, how do you plan for? It's 3 games.
Yeah, it's 3 games.
Out of the group. What do you consider in the planning? Ya gore game tse di tharo tse dio tse re di lebellang keng gore me ga re kare rare go kare.
I think the planning with the number of games played in the group stages, it's determined by the qualifier number of teams that go through to the next round, and of which I believe is the same goal for our team, is to qualify for the knockout stages, and then we take it from there. In our case, it was different. Winners of the group and then runners up were going through, and then we have 2 teams from all the groups that were like the best third finishers in terms of points.
Yeah.
So after you play the first 2 games with us, now you had to look at the qualifier state of all the groups. What if we play this, or what if we get this result, or what is it that is required? And then with Afcon is different. Only 2 teams can proceed, and now
from each group.
Now it's an issue of if only 2 teams can go through. For sure, if you have 6 points, you go through. Yes. For sure. If you have 4 points, then it's an issue of goal difference. Because you can have a team finishing third in a group but with 4 points. And then the other team maybe or maybe they go 7-7 to say they have drawn against each other and then won the 2 games. So those are the things that you look at, the number of teams that have to go through, and then you look at the group. You have to be realistic and say, for us to get maybe 6 or 7 points, we need to get the points against this team. Where possible, all the points. And on a bad day, we need to get maybe a point from this team. Yeah. But if you don't get the result that you want in the first game, it forces or changes how you approach the second and then the last game. Yeah.
So you can basically say, okay, I'll of course you go into each game Obatla win.
Yeah.
But if all comes to anything, I'll get a point here.
Yeah.
Okay. And you tell the players that.
You know, football is when we are with the team, the relationship is based on trust, based on honesty. For them to buy the idea, for them to believe in the idea, for them to have an input in the idea. I don't know how it happened like many years ago, but what I know works at the moment. You need the input of the players. You need to discuss with the players. They can have an idea. No coach has all the solutions.
Yes.
Yeah. The solutions, they come from the team. And you should encourage your team to be a team that solves problems, not a team that is always giving you problems to solve, you know. They should be a team that is saying, Coach, here we have a solution. This is what we think. And then they should also understand at the end of the day, the decision is yours to take.
So there's no assumption as a coach or the players are just waiting for you to come up with everything. Tell them. Sometimes you can just invite them also to share.
Yeah. To an extent, you're outside camp. You can, even before when, like maybe you are going to camp, you have done your research well, the information was available. You can go to an extent to say, these are the clips of our own team, or these are the clips of the teams that we are going to play against.
Yes.
I'll watch them. Give feedback. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you think? Where our threats? Where are possibilities?
Okay.
So
Let's do this before we go on. Working in retail, logistics, manufacturing, hospitality, or any private sector company, Express Credit is here to support your financial needs. Apply for an open market loan of up to 25,000 pula with repayment terms of up to 24 months and an exclusive 20% interest discount. It's fast, it's a flexible, some same-day approval. Apply online at expresscredit.co.bw or visit the nearest Express Credit branch. Express Credit, money when you need it. Borrowing more than you can afford to repay can lead to serious financial difficulties. And of course, another one, RB2 Live at TNT Fest, Toronto and surrounding areas. Get ready. RB2 is coming to you on the 24th of December. RB2 broadcasting live from the Toronto, the first ever TNT Fest happening at the Toronto FC grounds. TNT Fest will be bringing non-stop music, festive vibes, and unforgettable performances. Catch your favorite RB2 presenters live on air. Feel the energy and celebrate the festive season with us. See you in Toronto on the 24th of December. RB2, your station of choice. All right. Coach.
yeah.
We've got Senegal, we've got DRC, we've got
Benin.
Benin. What do we need to do to get out of the group and get the points to get us to the next stage? In your opinion?
The belief.
It's your opinion.
Yeah.
Hey.
The belief, and then the structure. The structure is the second most important thing after Tumelo, knowing that we are playing for each other. The structure when we have the ball, the structure when we don't have the ball. Yeah.
Ke batla o nthe hore nna ne nka tsa point fale ke dumela gore ne nka tsa 3 points fale ka tsa point fale in these three opponents. I believe they are different in their strengths.
Yeah,
and their weaknesses.
they're different. With football, it's difficult to say I'll beat Senegal and maybe draw with Benin and take a point from DR Congo.
Batho ba beting ke bone ba ka tlhaloganya.
If it was easy to predict football games, I think the sport will be very much boring.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Sheriff. I don't know. With Senegal, there is a possibility to get a point, a very big possibility.
Yeah.
And then, one thing that we should also receive the pressure that comes with the games for players.
Yes.
The expectations, how much we put pressure on them. And to them, I'll just say, remember who you are. Yeah, play to your strength. Play with courage. Play with heart. You are there because you deserve to be there. It will be good to get a point from Senegal. It will boost ourselves going to the second game.
Yes.
Depending on how DR Congo and Benin play. It will also be good for them to maybe play a draw in their game so that everyone is with everyone.
Yes.
So that the second game for us at DRC is not too much pressure because of what maybe DR Congo didn't get from the first match. If they lose the first match, then it's going to be even more difficult. For us. So I would say I would want us to play a draw the first match, and then the other teams let's already a draw, and then get a draw again, and then try to win the last match. Yeah.
And you are talking about strength.
Yeah.
Strength Sarona is a team, the Zebras, according to you. What is our strength?
I think It's dependent on the game, but I think for us, ke a go araba ka tsela e leng gore maybe
I hope I'm not putting you on the spot.
No. Ga ena go araba gongwe se no solo. I would say our strength lies in the team. It lies in the team in the sense that there are superiorities in football. You
Yes.
know, there's numerical, there's the qualitative, and then there's the ones that have to do with positioning. Where didn't. So for us, I think it lies in the team in the sense that the structure, looking at the teams that we are in, defensively we should be sound. I'm saying it because most of the times we will not have the ball. We cannot control the game with the ball, but we can control the game without the ball by controlling the space. And it's the most difficult thing to do.
Yes.
At the same time, to dictate the game with the ball, it requires a lot of things. It requires a lot of things. Some coaches will tell you like they don't coach the offensive because that is the creative part of the players. Others like they will tell you I'll only coach you defensively because it's a little bit easier to set up, but it's difficult to maintain throughout the game. Because people always say you tend to make mistakes, but I think the defensive structure will see us through. Low block is where the space between your goalkeeper and then your defenders and then the medium block has and then the high block is where maybe your center backs are almost at the center or low position half, and then that space gets bigger because of where the last players are positioned. And there's also a difference between low block and then the low press. There's high block and the high press. So those are things. There's a thin line between those. So sometimes Haribwa we just you can have a low block and then it's not active enough.
So how tshameka low block o maikelo e be leng?
You are simply saying you need to control the depth. You need to defend the depth. Well, the depth is the spaces. Let's say maybe your defenders are not quick enough, and we are up against Team Elor. They are very quick, and they will obviously start play from the back, so that if you press, and then they play over. So you are just saying you can play there. I'll keep my space. You can come. Then we'll deal with you when you get here. So, or maybe when it comes to build up, like the teams like Brighton season he did in EPL.
Yes.
He went to France. The guy. Where they were so good with the build up. The Zebi. Yeah. Like it's not maybe about how good they are, it's how good they are with the build up. You try to press, they still play out easily because they know their way around and through the block, and then they know with the build up it entails a lot of things. Some build ups they look a little bit slow because they are saying to the opposition, if you feel you can win the ball, come. If you are coming to win the ball, you will not get the ball. They just now they are quick, just slow to entice you. You try to be aggressive, they are quick, they play out. So it depends.
So when you play low block, I'm defending.
Yeah, you are defending here, and then also when you are playing low block, we are saying because I'm not up there, the opposition fullbacks will not stay there because my attackers are here. So they're also going to come. In return, they will give you space when you win the ball. And you are saying, if I win the ball and then I'm playing on transitions, like the first ball we win, the first pass is a transition pass, where you are not looking to play in the space around, but you are looking to play to Harry defender. There's what we call the rest attack. If we win the ball, where do we play? Harry attack, rest defense. If we lose the ball, who is there to help us to win? So, yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean when you play low block, you'll play counter attack.
Most of the times when you are here, Habatzile, if you win the ball, there's no use here or Osameke like 20 passes. The spaces are already there.
Because Batzile.
Now you also need the qualities in your team to have players with player profiles. Well, if you win the ball, can they be quick enough to exploit? If you don't, you cannot force Hotamika the ball that time because why would you lose?
Yeah, mona Chicharito buele hati ke ba accreditation ba. Hati ke ba fene. BQA again. Ke bona ba dile la re tshwantse ra credit mona re ruta batho fara ba ruta go mo ke class mo gore motho e ra etsa tsare a re tshamekeng kana bo social media go monate ka gore mo social media
there's no pressure in social media.
You can become a coach, a journalist. Tomorrow you are a master of ceremony of some sort. So in social media, so we at least we are giving you the information so that tomorrow when you say nkabe re tshamekile low block o bo itse low block o re hotewa is kana low block ya la rukila ka motho a re gona le low block e farologana jang le mid block. You know, you need to understand these things gore ga wa go bua ka tsone o bo khona gore o di tlhaloganya le wena o bo tlhaloganya le strength sa team ya rona the Zebras gore strength sa rona ke it's easier when you are hiding behind a screen of a phone, you know, okwala. Let's get bala a certain post. I normally don't comment nagebala ela motare ala ragorla go tlogela, I think was Mutuzi Cooper. Le ragorla go tlogela Cooper mo bencheng Cooper o rile. And for now I'm thinking each and every player who is there can start.
Yeah.
Based on the coach.
What the coach.
Yes.
You know, the other thing with coaching, you know, as much as you like go out, research, get information, get the data, you analyze it, you should be able to interpret the data. Two different things. So most of the times, Haribua, ka the teams we don't coach. We don't go deep into details like that.
Yes.
We are saying, no, it's Senegal, we should attack, but I'm telling you, there are patterns to everything they do.
Yes.
How they take set pieces. They do more right things, they do more left things, they do short things, they do closer the box.
Structured.
It's structure. How they do the kickoff. I'm sure from the past 2 games we have seen there's a similar from kickoff, there's a similar pattern that is taken by teams. They'll just leave 2 center backs out and then all other players are pushing to the center line. And they're saying we are playing a long ball. And then we play from the second ball. We win it up high the pitch, opposition half. But in Nzela Rona, we've played it high. Obviously, it's an organized defense. If you play lone trainer, organized defense, chances are you lose the first ball. But now you have to fight for the second and then the third ball. So it's a lot of things. Even in terms of how they attack, I'm sure there's a percentage to say this certain midfielder would play more to the left than the right. It could be positioning. It could be the player, maybe the relationship between the 2 players in the units or in the maybe inter-units, if I can use that word, maybe like the right back and then the right midfielder. So it's a lot of things.
All right, coach, ke tsa gore ke go leboge o tsentse class and then we've got another coach.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Coach Alex, as always, for such informative, I think. Now people are understanding now. Ba support that team. And try to be constructive in what they write. Because mo Facebook. Coach Jackie is joining us. And of course, we are now changing my gear to talk about the Africa Cup of Nations, specifically Bafana Bafana versus Angola.